Rise, Meg.
The Force will be with you.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Today we have some really exciting new details for The Mandalorian Season 3. We're also going to be talking about Gina Carano and much more. Before I dive into the news, please may I ask you to hit like down below, subscribe to my channel if you're brand new and a huge welcome if you are, and please be sure to hit the notification bell to be alerted each and every time I post new content to the channel. You can expect daily Star Wars updates from me. So my dear friends, without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. We're going to kick off with some really big news, and I spoke about this briefly a few days ago, but we have more information about it now, and I've seen this on various news sites, so it seems more and more likely to be happening, that Han Solo and Qira will reportedly appear in the Mandalorian universe. So evidently, whenever the term Mandalorian universe is being used, it includes The Mandalorian, the upcoming shows like Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka, and the Book of Boba Fett, so they could appear in any one of those. So let's see what the article says now. We're coming up to 3 years since the release of Solo, a Star Wars story, and we've still yet to see any kind of sequel project materialize. There is a Lando TV series in development, although we're not too sure at this stage if it will feature Donald Glover or Billy D. Williams, or maybe even both. Given the disappointing box office haul of Solo, a Star Wars story, the best bet for more of young Han is a return on Disney Plus, rather than on the big screen. And that might be possible through the Mandalorian universe. The insider source, which seems to be the most correct, which is the same one who told us we'd see Ahsoka and Luke in The Mandalorian Season 2, is now claiming that we're going to see Han Solo and Qira soon, either in The Mandalorian Season 3 or in the Book of Boba Fett. So personally, just to chime in very quickly before I carry on with this article, I really hope they include him in the Book of Boba Fett, because it would make complete sense for them to continue the rivalry between Boba and Han Solo that we saw in Return of the Jedi. It's very well worth pointing out the fact that the source has not specified whether it will be Alden Ehrenreich who will be back as young Han, but you would imagine that that would be the case. Although it might be strange to have him play Han again in the post-original trilogy timeline, so it's feasible that they pull off a Luke Skywalker type CGI thing for a younger version of Harrison Ford. Of course, at this point in the timeline, Darth Maul is dead, so it's possible that Qira has risen up the ranks to become a big deal in the galactic underworld. In which case, the Book of Boba Fett might be a good fit for her. I've said this in the past, but I think it's a really good idea to include more original trilogy characters in the upcoming season of Mando. But it has to be fan service that's done correctly, and I think it'd be a good inclusion to put Han Solo in the Mandalorian universe in some way, shape or form. So yeah, if you ask me, I think this is absolutely phenomenal news. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and let's move on to our next article. So 2 or 3 days ago, I talked about the Gina Carano controversy and how it seems like Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to push her out of The Mandalorian. Well, I came across this article from Inside the Magic, and they're talking about how it's very possible that Gina Carano's Cara Dune could be recast or removed altogether. So let's see what they say. Gina Carano has been at the centre of both fan outrage and love for the bulk of Season 2 of Mando. The consistent negative perception may have some Star Wars fans wondering if Lucasfilm and Disney will recast her, or simply just scrap the character entirely in The Mandalorian Season 3 and its spin-offs. Carano is currently expected to star in Rangers of the New Republic, though nothing has been confirmed at this stage. So for quite some time now, the hashtag #FireGinaCarano has trended on Twitter a multitude of times. Most recently, the hashtag reappeared after real-life political tension. A report has recently noted that Disney requested that Gina Carano apologise. Carano has yet to post or say anything that would even resemble an apology. The intentional exclusion of New Republic Marshal Cara Dune could have meant nothing major or something bigger. So let's take a look at the options. As mentioned, Carano has been the centre of controversy for Disney for quite some time now, across many different social media platforms. It's no secret to suggest that Disney, like any other company, does not like to have anyone with a negative image reflect or taint their company. It could be that Disney and Lucasfilm are intentionally distancing themselves from Carano during what has been a politically driven time for the US. That being said, distance does not mean that Carano would be removed from the series entirely. On the other hand, Disney could be looking into replacing Gina Carano's Cara Dune. For the same reason previously mentioned, it wouldn't be too surprising to hear of Disney and Lucasfilm looking to replace the actress. It appears that amongst some Star Wars fans, Lana Parrilla is the favourite to potentially replace Carano for the role of Cara Dune. So as I stated the other day, even though I do not agree with her politics, as a character Cara Dune works really well in The Mandalorian, and I don't see a reason why they would just exclude her for her personal beliefs on Twitter. Now maybe I'm biased because I don't have a Twitter account and I'm not really in touch with that kind of thing, but I think we need to separate her performance in The Mandalorian as Cara Dune and her real life political views. But hey, those are just my views. Let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. What do you think of Gina Carano's performance in The Mandalorian Season 2? I thought she did a great job as Cara Dune, but I want to hear what you think. So on that note, let us move on to our next article. So we're going to take a break from The Mandalorian for now because this is something I really don't know how to feel about. It's called Lucasfilm reportedly developing a Star Wars comedy film. Okay, so if you didn't like the sequels, listen up. You know how so many people say The Last Jedi killed the franchise? And you know how this has been a trend throughout Star Wars history? It happened in 1978 with the holiday special. It happened when people didn't like the prequels, it happened when people didn't like the sequels. I think we can all agree that if Lucasfilm do indeed develop a Star Wars comedy film, we can all unite as a franchise in agreeing that this would be the worst piece of Star Wars media ever. If you think the sequel trilogy killed Star Wars, I really urge you to go and see this if and when it does come out eventually, and tell me that The Last Jedi is still the worst thing you've ever seen in any sort of Star Wars media format. Now, I'm not really giving this the benefit of the doubt, but if they do create a Star Wars comedy film, that is just putting the nails in the coffin of the franchise. Because my first and the most important question we have to ask ourselves is, who in the fuck wants this? Who wants a Star Wars comedy film? I wasn't watching The Empire Strikes Back when Luke had his hand lopped off thinking, you know what, this needs comedy relief. They tried it in The Phantom Menace and people really didn't like the character of Jar Jar Binks. But now they're going to create an entire Star Wars comedy film. And you know what the worst part of this is? It's not the fact that it's a Star Wars comedy film. It's that I cringe to think who's going to make this thing. Who are the poor human beings who have to write a script for this and say, hey, you know what people will find funny? What I'm saying is it's just not needed. And especially with the reparations that are being done for the franchise right now with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, who are absolutely kicking ass on The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic. We don't need this. And it just adds fuel to the people who think that Star Wars is just becoming a joke. Well, now it's literally going to become one if they make a film that's going to be a Star Wars comedy. No one wants this. Who asked for this? Well, whatever, that's just me jibber-jabbering on and that's my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.